Hello, and welcome to our daily spiritual practice, 6 a.m. Pacific time, using 365 Science of Mind, a year of daily wisdom from Ernest Holmes, the founder of the organization known as Centers for Spiritual Living. You can find out more about Centers for Spiritual Living on csl.org. Also, there is a community locator on our website. You can type in an area and we will let you know if we have an organization in that area, and that works across the world where we have study groups, teaching chapters, and spiritual communities. And if you are already part of a spiritual community, I'd love to know which one. Please just put that in the chat and tell us about that. I'm using the Kindle version of the book, and today's reading for the 21st is again steeped in Christian imagery. But to be fair, Dr. Holmes had a special take on Christianity that isn't, it's unique, I'll say that. So whether or not you are from a Christian tradition, the ideas and imagery he intends to use in a universal way so that it could be applicable to any faith tradition, even though it is using the language of Christianity. Today's title is I Relax in the Peace of the Living Spirit. The quote is from Philippians. And the peace of the living Spirit, which passes all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. And now Dr. Holmes will explain what he means by that. We often wonder if peace really exists anywhere. In a world distraught with so much confusion and chaos, we deeply need an inner, abiding sense of calm and tranquility. Peace of mind is really what the world is searching after, because without it, we have only a sense of insecurity and loneliness. Without peace, deep and abiding, there can be no happiness or contentment, no sense of security, no confidence. And Jesus said, "My peace I give unto you." And Paul said, "The peace of God, which passes all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus." This means, Dr. Holmes says, that in such a degree as we attain peace, Christ, or the anointed of heaven, or the indwelling presence of the living Spirit, makes itself known to us. Because the living Spirit is not met through confusion, but only when the mind is tranquil. And like an unruffled body of water, reflects the divine images of peace and perfection. Today, I enter into the peace of the living Spirit, and I let my mind settle down and be still like water. I drop confusion just for this time of practice, and I let myself feel a deep, abiding sense of calm. The living Spirit is real to me. I keep my mind stayed on this divine inner presence, and I let every thought slip by and move wherever it's moving to. I observe my mind without attachment. In this quiet, I meet the real me. In this quiet, I meet the eternal, changeless truth of me. In this quiet, I understand that I am an expression of the living Spirit. I am one with the living Spirit forevermore. There is no separation, no apartness. Here and now within me, there is a voice that says, "Peace, be still, and know that I am the living Spirit." The living Spirit in me and around me and through me, forever expressing itself. And so I celebrate the nature of the living Spirit today, and I raise and praise its presence in me. I am that which thou art. Thou art that which I am. And that which I am and that which thou art is one and the same. And so it is. There were many phrases in today's reading that were references to biblical thought and idea, far too many for me to unpack in the short time that we have together. And it is the case that Dr. Holmes began to expand his repertoire of references. When he read the Bhagavad Gita, for example, he said of it that it was one of the most beautiful scriptures that he had ever read. And we can see traces of its influence on him and a different style of language as he expanded. And if you are hungry for that more universal flavor, if Christian imagery doesn't necessarily work for you, then Living the Science of Mind is another book, another compilation of his writings that has a slightly different style, where he talks about the universal presence like a friend within. He talks about those qualities of the divine that, quite frankly, resemble the language and concepts of the Gita more than they do the Christian Testament. So there's another source for you, Living the Science of Mind. And you can find that available on our store at csl.org. We have a store with spiritual books to help you and me on our spiritual journey. Wonderful, wonderful resource. Now you'll also find my book there, Ordinary Goodness. I had to think of the name, and why I wanted to mention that is because I have been talking about the invitation for you to write down, to get clear on what it is that you believe. And there is an exercise and a process in that book that I've been referring to, Ordinary Goodness, and it's on our website, bookstore. I thank you in advance for sharing, if you are able, share this post on Facebook, and for letting me know where you're tuning in from, and for being part of this practice. Some of you, every day since the beginning. Is there anybody here who has not missed a single day? I would love to hear from you. Have a blessed day.